guys, it's Sophie. So today I'm going to be doing my review of I Call Myself a Feminist, edited by Victoria Pepe, Rachel Holmes, Amy Annette, Alice Stride and Martha Moss. So this is the first pick for Jean Bookishthoughts, the Feminist Orchestra Bookclub, which was started up sort of this month, I think. This is certainly our first read for it, and I'll link the video to that one above in the bar so that you guys can go and check it out if you'd like to. So this book is essentially a collection of sort of views from women who are under the age of 30. There's 25 women in this collection. There's been a little bit of chat about whether or not they're essays, whether or not they're sort of blog posts or testimonies. I'm just going to call them pieces for now. I like to sort of think that they may sort of vary in the way they're written, and that maybe some of them would be classed as essays and some of them wouldn't be. But by and large, they're sort of pieces written by women about things that have happened to them in their life or to people they know. So in terms of the format of this book, you have these pieces which are interspersed with quotes from sort of fiction and from non-fiction, from speeches and such, that are not, I would say, relevant to the story at hand, but sort of nice to have peppered in there anyway. I did enjoy this book, and I did actually race through it. I sat down and I read it in one sitting. Very easy to read. The format is quite large, sort of large font format, and quite a lot of space shoved in there too. So it's not a difficult book to read in any shape or form, and I think Jean was right to choose this as one of the first sort of books we got to, because it is a good sort of introductory text. It's nothing too challenging really, but I didn't really mind that. I think that's what it was supposed to be. And for me personally, this wasn't something that did bring anything new to the table for me. But having said that, I have read about feminism for a while now, and I have sort of, you know, immersed myself in that world to some extent, and I didn't really go in expecting to find anything particularly new. And I think that's one of the two aims of this book. That's kind of what I'm going to be talking about, the things I think they meant to do with this book. And the first aim, I think, is to reassure and to reaffirm those who are sort of entering into feminism and have maybe had a bit of a read, a bit of research already, but have experienced that backlash that happens kind of all too often with feminism, especially when you start to become public about it in sort of the online world. And just to give you a bit of an example, I'm actually going to put in a picture of something that I think is quite interesting. So this guy whose username I blocked out had been messaging me for quite a long period of time, and I have been sort of uninterested in responding. I didn't want to really talk to him. I didn't really want to sort of engage, even just say go away, and had just sort of let it go. And my message inbox had been sort of, you know, clicking in with his contributions every now and again. And if you have a look at the last entry, that entry was posted on the same day as the day I posted my video, why I call myself a feminist, so why am I a feminist? And I think you'll kind of see what I mean. You'll kind of see what the power of that word is, how it can switch someone who may originally have seemed sort of, whilst not desirable, but sort of not negative, not sort of critical of you, into a conversation that becomes quite unpleasant. And I think people do experience that when they first delve into feminism, when they first talk about it on the internet, and it's hard. It's hard to sort of keep standing up and keep saying, yes, I still believe in this, when you have got that backlash coming in. So I think this book is partly for those who have experienced that and have maybe drawn away a little bit, just to reaffirm it that you're not alone, that there are lots of other people there who are calling themselves a feminist publicly, and that you don't have to feel afraid of those who are trying to put you down. And then I think the other aim, which I don't think anyone else has really talked about all that much, but I'm pretty sure it's the other aim. I was thinking it most of the way through reading it. I don't think this is a book for people who do call themselves feminists, and I know that sounds a bit weird, but I think the secondary aim is that this is for people who maybe they themselves would identify as a feminist, but it's for their boyfriend, their girlfriend, their mum, their brothers, their sisters, their friends. It's for those people who have a similar sort of oh gosh reaction when they say the words I am a feminist, and it's down to that sort of negative stereotype that's crept into feminism and has sort of tried to silence it. And I really think that this book is something that people would read and then give to someone else. I think it's very much a book that you share with those who are doubtful and those who perhaps don't see the point in what you're doing and don't really understand why you would even make that statement. So I don't think this book is meant for one person alone. I really don't. I do feel as you go through, partly because of the the sort of nature of the small pieces interspersed with these quotes. I think it's almost like an arsenal almost to sort of come back to people who are putting you down, or to hand off to people who maybe don't know anything about it or little about it or the wrong things about it, and to give them a little bit of an understanding. And I think that's why it's so sort of piecey, so sort of pick and choose, so that you can sort of say, oh well, you know, this person has said, you know, women are equal in the workplace, and you can go in and you can find one and talk about sort of the points raised in that essay and think, oh yeah, okay, maybe it won't change anything, but maybe they would have a slightly different opinion. So for those two reasons, I did give it 4 out of 5 stars. I didn't give it 5 out of 5 because that would have required it to sort of teach me something, but I did really enjoy it. And I would say that if you fall into any of those categories, so either someone who's sort of very new to feminism, maybe not read any feminist texts before, it's a nice overall wrap up of the kind of topics that feminists talk about. For those of you who have maybe just braved it once and you've had such negative feedback that you don't feel like you can do it, there are other people there too, and I think this will help you sort of reaffirm your belief. And for those who have, you know, people in their life that they want to talk about feminism with, but maybe don't know how, or don't feel like they have the authority, this provides you with a really nice way of saying to them, here look, just read this, and it's only a couple pages long. So I did enjoy it, I would recommend it, but I am really looking forward to getting into some of the more sort of complex texts that I know we have coming up, because I love sort of learning more about the topic and exploring my views, you know, in a deeper way. So really excited for that. I hope you've all had a really lovely day. I hope your week's looking good, you know, looking ahead of you, and I'll see you soon in my next video. Bye bye.